So in the beginning, there was Rush, and the first night I got to Tech was a Friday, and Rush had already started the night before. So I went around with my roommate. We rushed around a few different houses. It was great. All the guys were real nice. Everywhere we went, all dressed up, and there was great food everywhere. Which part of the reason a bunch would go out is just for the food. But aside from that, we were really looking to get a bid from a fraternity, and so went around the first two nights and just looked at a bunch of different houses. Eventually, got bids from a couple of different places, but the one that I felt was, the most for me, and just had like the best guys, real level headed guys who still wanted to have a lot of fun and party and whatnot, but kind of had it all together was Lambda Chi Alpha. And so I accepted my bid from there, and for the rest of Rush, got to help bring in a bunch of other guys. We ended up with 26 in our pledge class, or AM class as they call it. And so that was really all Rush was. Then after that, our pledge ship, or AM ship, and AM just means associate member. The fraternity did away with the term pledge years ago. And so once our AM ship began, it really wasn't too bad, just because Lambda Chi, uh, prides themselves on being a non-hazing fraternity. So a lot of it was just these great parties that we could always go to, and there's always like just a place to be, which was really nice having the house and all the guys in it. Throughout the semester, just meeting a lot of cool people, and even throughout like when it came to the parties and everything, the guys were all really nice. Like you could approach any of them and they would always have something fun to say, but they really emphasize staying on top of your work. And so that was a big thing, at least for the very beginning of the semester, was balancing schoolwork and the fraternity and everything I had going on there. But once I kind of found that happy medium between, or just kind of organized my time to where I could get all my work done and go to the fraternity, like whenever I was at the fraternity, like at one of the parties or anything that was going on, it was always a lot more fun because I didn't have this thought of my schoolwork lingering around in the back of my mind. So that was a big plus. And then, um, in addition to, obviously, in addition to parties, there was the fraternity education that all the AMs had to go through. And in one of my older audio diaries, I talked a little bit about some stuff toward the end of it, and here that is. So, in one of my original audio diaries, I mentioned that I decided to join Lambda Chi Alpha as an associate member, which is their term for pledge, since they did away with pledgeship years ago. And I haven't really followed up with that, but since then, we've been doing normal fraternity stuff, like just going through pledgeship. Uh, but recently, everything I got from our pledge education to all the various things we have to complete before initiation, it's been getting a little more intense. Our initiation week is November 11th through the 16th, so we've cleared that entire week, given the schedules to our ritualist, and are pretty much just awaiting to see what it is. None of the associate members have any idea what's going to be going on that week. We all have, you know, certain ideas of what it might be like, what it might look like, the whole initiation week and the initiation ritual itself. But until then, we're just kind of speculating to what it can be like. Personally, I mean, there's so many different ideas going through my mind of what it could be like, but more than anything, I'm just focused on completing completing the paddle and the coat of arms and everything else like that that we need for I week to get initiated into the fraternity. So it's still been going good and still enjoying everything and having fun, but just of recently it's been it's been getting a little more intense. So I guess in a few weeks we'll see what it all adds up to. So as I said in the older audio diary, my week was coming up, and it was tough. And obviously, I can't reveal all the specifics about it, but I mean, it was definitely worth it. It was an experience that probably never want to have again, but I'm glad I did have it. And I mean, overall, it brought me a lot closer to a lot of the guys in my AM class. And in the end of it, I can look back and say it was worth it, and that it feels great to finally be a brother of Lambda Chi, and I can have that with me going, you know, here on out for the rest of my life. So that pretty much wraps it up to this point. It's been a great first semester, and looking forward to everything else that the fraternity has to hold for me for the next